BO Asia Pacific Super Middleweight Championship on the line. Singh and Hope, India against Australia, and here we go. Scheduled for 10 rounds of 3 minutes. We know Kerry Hope is a wily veteran. He's been in the ring with some of the best. This is going to be no pushover for Singh, who of course has a huge hometown advantage in his favour. And I'm delighted to say that Wnner has joined us now. And Charu, what an incredible build-up to this fight. I know you've played a huge part in it. You must be incredibly emotional that you are finally seeing a main event with an Indian fighter in India.
Well, Patrick, it's not a good time for me to say I'm all out of words, because that is what we live by. But yes, it's a huge occasion, and we don't want to put too much pressure on Vijender Singh. We know he can deliver the goods, but we know he's also up against it, because we know against southpaws, say, for instance, Abbas Atayev in the 2012 London Olympics, he went down pretty badly. So we'll see whether Kerry Hope can utilize his southpaw advantage, but this is such a huge moment, Patrick. Words cannot describe it. Big time for professional boxing in India.
I've never been to a professional boxing event where the crowd was packed so soon before a main event. It was standing room only by 8 p.m. this evening, but let's be honest, the crowd have been relatively subdued. They've only risen to their feet when the many celebrities here from Bollywood and cricket have walked into the auditorium. It's a different game now. You look around this arena, every telephone with a camera on it is gazing at the ring. Everyone on the edge of their seats looking to see their hero bring home the goods, and it's a very steady, if not cagey, start from both of them.
Well, yes, one reason, of course, is the fact that it's a 10-rounder. We know Vijender has not gotten 10 rounds so far. He's been training for it, but he hasn't fought a professional 10-round fight yet. Of course, Kerry Hope has. And one small little tidbit, of course, in his preparation, Kerry Hope went for, what, the Brisbane half marathon? He thought he'd go for the full marathon, did a half marathon, 1 minute 35.
He's talking about that during the ring walks. That's astonishing. I mean, his trainer said that he wouldn't usually advise it, but it seems to work with him. But he takes a shot there and just gives a shrug of the shoulders and say, "You're not getting me yet, Vijender."
Well, there was a big right that connected that Vijender, certainly got the crowd going. And you make a good point about the crowd, mind you, because for sporting events in India, apart from cricket, it has been, well, you know, sporadic at best. But look at the crowd here. You mentioned 8 o'clock, and thereafter it was not a seat. The kind of pressure on iOS and Queensbury for passes, for tickets, unbearable. I'm glad I wasn't the organizer. It was wonderful to see the atmosphere and the full house here.
Well, we're blessed to have the best seats in the house. Bring it to you ringside live on Star Sports and all around the world. Who will lift the WBO Super Welterweight Championship as we enter the last 25 seconds of the opening round? And at this stage, with 20 seconds to go, you'd have to score it even, I guess.
Well, yes, not much action from both the boxers. Viju got a nice big right in, but that didn't really faze Kerry Hope. He's been there and he's done that. Although age and size will favour Vijender, but in terms of stamina, we'll have to see. A body shot that seemed to rock Kerry, and another left by Vijender.
Yep.
A nice end to the first round by Vijender.
There was a telling grin from Kerry after that shot, but he looks like he felt it. That's the first round in the books. Still a potential 9 to go. It's a ding-donger in Delhi as we see if Singh can fulfill his boxing destiny.
The fact that he's been well-trained, well-prepared by Francis Warren in the UK, so we know that that certainly helps. Just being in the right stable is such a big deal for a professional boxer, and I have no doubt that Vijender's success, early success, is going to bring other promoters into India looking for more talent.
And of course, we've seen some of that talent already on display tonight. Sanji Shimoda, of course, one of Frank Warren's fighters, but him here and one on the card already. And that's just the benefit of having that Frank Warren schooling, because people say he's only had 6 fights, he's not fought anyone of note, as the referee just has a quick look at the gloves, does he, and gives him a small warning. He's not fought anyone of note, but you'd be crazy to put him in with a top fighter this early in his career, and this Kerry Hope represents the perfect opportunity to take that further step up the ladder.
You mentioned the ladder, and that's of course a very long one in professional boxing in terms of rankings, and that's what really matters. A win here in the title could bump him up to number 15 in the world, as we well know.
Oh, I think that's a slip. Yeah. I think that's a slip. He acknowledges it straight away with a grin, but he did get hurt by 1 shot, I think, from Kerry. And to be fair, every time that Vijender throws a punch, the crowd are going crazy.
Well, in terms of conditioning, of course, it does look like Kerry Hope's in very, very good shape. Maybe a low blow there by Vijender, maybe just a slip though. But the crowd rising to every attempt by Vijender to be aggressive. Oh, a nice combination by Kerry. Once again to Viju's body. He likes that body punch. He is shorter by 2 inches, so I suppose it'll be easier for him to target the body than Vijender's face.
Well, anyone that thought Kerry Hope was coming in for a holiday and to see the Taj Mahal is very much mistaken, because he's shown enough in the first 4.5 minutes that he is here to fight, and he is here because he wants to win this title and spoil Vijender Singh's big homecoming professional party.
A little bit of gamesmanship there. Kerry Hope saying, well, you think you can hurt me? Try again. But Vijender's got a couple of big rights. There again, maybe slightly low that.
Oh, he caught it there!
Yeah, rocks Kerry Hope.
Now that is the boxing skill of Vijender Singh coming on there. Kerry Hope still grinning and shrugging, but he got caught with one there, and that was just the superior boxing skills of Vijender that caught him out.
Well, Vijender has gone on record to say that even though he did what he did in the amateur career, it's a different ball game, the professional arena, and he's had to put plenty of weight behind those punches, so he is punching a lot stronger. Once again, maybe slightly low, and I think the referee is aware of that. Also, just the patches on the gloves coming apart for Vijender, so no problem really, but no warning.
No warning, and that's just as well because we've already seen a couple of...
Big right, rocking Kerry Hope straight on the button.
And Kerry Holmes is smiling, but he can't keep taking his shots to keep on smiling. He gets them again, and Vijender Singh seemingly picking off Kerry Hope at will in the early stages, but Hope comes back with one of his own and another.
Well, the first clinch really, they've been boxing pretty clean before this. And we know that the referee has a very important task. Last 10 seconds of the second round. Who's going to come up with a flurry?
Oh, another good combo! He rocked him back with that one, and Vijender Singh ends the second round with arguably the best punch of the fight so far. Sally is absolutely rocking. Vijender Singh looking for the title. Back with round 3 in 2.
Yeah, I'm just depositing it.
Icon here to enjoy the fight with so many others. We got Suresh Wnner earlier on, a whole lot of senior political figures. And of course, all eyes on Vijender Singh and Kerry Hope fighting for the Asia Pacific super middleweight belt. So far, Vijender has shown a rock-solid right hand. And we know that Kerry Hope has the stamina, has the pedigree. It's just a question of how it's going to pan out from here. It's a 10-round fight. And we know Vijender hasn't really gone that distance. Earlier on, a big left attempted, but into the guard of Viju.
Early on, you'd have to say Vijender probably just shading it on points, but it is shading it. And you mentioned during that second round, the danger of the caught in the ropes there to Kerry Hope, the danger of the referee deducting a point. We've seen that in a couple of the earlier points as well. And you don't want to go get points deducted if this does go to the scorecards.
Well, a couple of uppercuts by Vijender as Kerry was bending low. He'll have to watch out because the power of the uppercut, of course, supreme in boxing. You can see Hope now distancing himself, and Viju very much on the attacking mode.
And so far, so good. It doesn't appear to have taken Vijender Singh long to get to grips with the southpaw. Of course, it had fought left-handers before, but not at this level of competition. And he gets him with a body shot as well. And he's clearly got a game plan to go for the body here, hasn't he? He's playing the body card a lot. And the referee will soon break that up with the unnecessary chin lock.
Well, a few seconds ago, Patrick, you could see Kerry Hope wincing once again. The power of that body blow, the right and followed up by the left of the head. Some good combinations coming by Vijender Singh. You can see how focused and careful and concentrated Vijay is right now. Only the third round. Needs to be prepared for going the distance.
Oh, another body shot. This is clearly a tactic from the Vijender Singh camp. Concentrating on the body. He seems to be switching styles as well, Kerry Hope. He's not always fighting southpaw. I don't know whether this is the tactic he's switching as well, maybe to try and confuse Vijender, but so far it doesn't appear to be hindering Singh's progress.
Oh, nice combination. Double jab by Kerry Hope. Nice right, but that is... Oh, gosh, I wonder if the elbow connected to Vijender's nose. He can get scrappy at times. Oh, a low blow perhaps again. Well, he looks much better set when he's on his normal southpaw guard, isn't he?
Well, this is the sign of a class boxer, and if you're an Indian fight fan hoping to see Vijender Singh go far, every time Kerry Hope tries to attack him, to Kerry Hope's credit, he is. Vijender seems to be picking him off at will. Very rarely is Kerry Hope getting a shot in without having to take one in return.
Well, that's the point. It's the counter. And Vijender is doing all of that. Oh, gosh, perhaps another low blow. And I'm sure the referee is going to somewhere warn Vijender just to keep a little higher. Once again, Viju missing with his right. But what's quite evident, Patrick, is the fact that even though at times Vijender seems to be leading the attack, Kerry is not afraid of also being the aggressor here. He comes in with a few good punches, and maybe he gets picked off a couple of times, but it's good to see that he's still game.
But you get the feeling that, Pib. You see what Vijender does afterwards, and a late shot comes in again. And Vijender, for the first time, show maybe a bit of frustration, because he clearly is just edgeless, but Kerry Hope has already shown he's going nowhere in a hurry.
That was close. We'll be back.
Australia within 2 rounds are over, but he comes out strong at the start of the third.
Well, to be fair, some blows were exchanged. Kerry Hope got a couple of blows in as well. A sharp right, but looks like Vijender did get the better of that exchange early in this 4th round. You mentioned breathing heavy as he got up from the stool. Now that's not a good sign, because we know that one strength Kerry Hope has, and I was talking about marathon earlier on, is the fact that he can last. His stamina, there is no question. We know he can last fights, we know he can win on points as well. Vijender doesn't have that experience just yet, having knocked out his earlier opponents very quickly.
Listen, the fight game has plenty of critics that they say people have put up for fights, and they might not be that competitive, but you only got to look at this guy. This is a man, Kerry Hope, that beat a 26-0 fighter, Grzegorz Puska, for the European title in 2012, and that Polish fighter went on to fight arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. As Vijender goes, and they both get wrestled down to the ground.
Well, to be fair, Vijender came in with a fabulous, hard-hitting combination and rocked Kerry Hope, and the only opportunity he had then was to perhaps go down pulling Vijender with him. So we'll have to give Vijender that.
First sign of damage underneath Kerry Hope's right eye. There's blood and there's swelling, and the crowd can sense it. Can Vijender sense it? It looks like there's a cut there.
Beneath the left eye, yes.
Kerry Hope still smiling. A reminder, Kerry Hope once ranked the 3rd best middleweight in the world by the WBA. He may be getting on to veteran status, Kerry Hope, but at 34 years of age, he's only 4 years older than Vijender.
Well, a glancing right, another big one to the body. The crowd, of course, will cheer everything that Vijender comes up with. You mentioned, of course, a couple other titles. It's also important what happened last, and Kerry Hope, last time he won the vacant WBC Asian Boxing Council middleweight title against Punmaraze Junhango from Thailand.
Eventually, after some controversy, it must be said. But yeah, and having been through that experience in Hong Kong where he felt he lost a hometown decision with 2 Thai judges in attendance, he'll want to take no chances tonight. Obviously, home advantage is a huge thing for Vijender, and so far, in what's becoming a gripping contest, he is edging it. But right, Kerry Hope will beat your peril.
Vijender started this round well, and I'm sure he's looking to end it well, just to ensure that the judges can make out who's on top.
Going back to the southpaw stance now is Kerry, and he gets with the left. That's Kerry Hope's best shot of the fight so far. Connected flush, but Vijender seems unfazed.
Last 10 seconds, and Vijender needs to come back, and he does, but he misses. That's probably going to be the last bit of action for this round. It is, so
well,
perhaps a little more even.
Yeah, you have to wonder whether that great shot hit by Kerry Hope towards the end.
Vijender attacking the body, as you've said, also getting a couple of good head shots in. And, of course, maybe it wasn't round.
Oh, he got it right. And another. And these are quality shots that both men are landing here. We've already seen one cut develop on Hope. Let's hope Kerry, they both caught each other there again.
As Kerry continues to go for headshots of Vijender. Vijender, of course, content every once in a while to go for the body, and those are telling blows. Once again, a big right. More a glancing blow that to the head. Vijender.
Oh, they both caught each other again there. Arguably, Kerry Hope not getting the full force on Javinder's chin, but he did find that sweet spot with that shot. And that's something else we'll see. You could argue that Javinder's chin hasn't really been tested yet.
Oh, you've taken one punch on the nose, but not so much on the chin yet. You're right.
So the chance for Vijender to show the boxing world he's got a rock chin. And he hasn't been really faced so far. Kerry Hope, the only of the 2 fighters that's looked genuinely stunned by the shot he's received.
Well, just to remind you, Vijender does have a 2-inch advantage in terms of height, and also just about a kilo or so heavier. And those, you may say, are very little, but every little bit counts in the professional arena.
I'd like to ask you, Kerry, as someone who's been around this fight in the build-up, Kerry Hope did make a jibe at Vijender, suggesting that he wasn't in the best of shape. Obviously, Vijender, being a big profile celebrity in India, has lots of extra commitments. Do you think Vijender's in tip-top shape?
Well, it's a good question. I suppose only he will answer, but it's quite obvious that he's carrying a couple of pounds more than he should. Whoa! Big punch by both, traded. The truth is that, yes, when you're back in your country and being such a big superstar, you do have more commitments than you'd like to accept. But there are, you know, other duties as well. There are agents, there are those that almost sort of, you know, force you to go in for all sorts of commitments. So, yes, he's been busier off the ring than he wanted to be.
Oh, shots from both fighters come in, and again, Vijender goes to the body. Stop. I think Kerry Hope, the point he was trying to make was that he was more chiselled than Vijender, but this isn't bodybuilding, it's boxing.
True, it's not just about the cuts that one can show, the muscling of the body. Vijender, of course, does seem like he's not as well defined as Kerry Hope. His punches do carry a lot of weight, a lot of intensity, and that's what he's been mentioning, that the first thing that he learned getting into the professional arena was just increasing the intensity of his punches, and no wonder he's KO king so far.
There we go, round 5 is gone, and we're not too far off going into uncharted territory where Vijender Singh is concerned. Can he lift the title? Join us for round number 6 in 2. Well, extra bonus for you. We're gonna
truly begin the big test for Vijender.
10,000 packed into the Tyre Stadium here. India expects, can Vijender deliver as he goes into those uncharted waters? And just listen to the crowd. Oh!
Well, a couple of blows to the back of Vijender's head, which I'm sure Mark Nelson will be aware of and would want to stop. That's not a territory you normally attack.
No rabbit punches allowed here, please. Keep it clean. Vijender, the crowd sensing every opportunity as he goes forward. The slightest movement from Vijender getting the crowd excited.
Well, boxing, so much of boxing is all about aggression, and they trade punches once again. We'll have to say Kerry Hope's defensive abilities are to the fore. He's been avoiding many of Vijender's charges, ducking out of them, weaving away, and that's what we'd like to see, quality boxing.
Vijender's taken a couple of big shots in this round. It's certainly so far, with a minute gone, looking like it might be scored in favour of the Australian, but Vijender 2 minutes to do some work, and that relentless pounding of the body. But of course, when you decide to go down that road and tactic and acquire the body as he for once goes to the head, you have to hope that the judges are savvy enough to realise, because the body shots, not the glamorous shots in boxing, the ones that rock the opponent's head back are the ones that get the cheers and the good gas and the oohs and the ahs. But Vijender clearly with a game plan here, and so far, too early to say it's definitely working, but too early also to say it's definitely not.
Well, he continues to attack the body. A few seconds ago, another big blow to the solar plexus. But, you know, Kerry Hope is obviously proving to be a very worthy opponent. He's taken a fair amount of beating, but he doesn't show too much of an ill effect, except, of course, that cut under the left eye. Otherwise, he's giving most often as good as he's getting.
Sorry, I just excused you there, Charles. He caught him again there. And Kerry Hope comes straight back, but he was definitely caught. And to be fair, the corner looked to have done a decent job on that cut. We've just got to look at it close at quarters, and the swelling appears to be under control.
Well, they traded strong lefts just a few seconds ago, and we'll have to say Mark Nelson right on top of the fight, separating them at the merest hint of a clinch. Hope with the right. His corner certainly pretty happy.
Oh, he rocks it there! He rocks it there! And Kerry Hope is wobbling! Kerry Hope wobbles for the first time on the night, but still manages to raise a smile.
Well, I'm glad he can still smile.
Oh,
that was a good combination by Vijender, and he aggression. He's smelling something here, Vijender. Big right once again.
What a shot! The advertising hoardings go flying. What a shot from Vijender Singh, but still Kerry Hope comes back.
Not only comes back Patrick, but Kerry continues to look strong. He does get rocked, puts in a nice left himself. Oh, what a bat, what a fight, what a round.
The round of the night so far, and the good news is there's more to come. Stay with us. finals, Olympic Games, Test match cricket, but nothing comes up to what we're seeing here. Professional boxing comes to Delhi for the first time, and in its main event, India's own Vijender Singh is hopefully on his way to a first professional title. What an atmosphere, just listen.
Well, another left-right combination by Vijender, just proving once again the crowd here about the star power of Vijender Singh. Not only a brilliant amateur career, we mentioned being #1 in the middleweight back in 2009, the Olympic medal as well, a World Championship bronze. But what he has done in the professional arena so far, and his lifestyle, the fact that he's a big hero from where he comes, there's a boxing academy in his village, all of that just showing that boxing will go a long way in India. It's ready for the big league.
Of course, Vijender having to spend the last part of his training regime in Great Britain, where he's mentored and managed by Frank Warren. Those first 6 victories on his professional career, all by knockouts, have all come in England. And he's coming home tonight to show India what professional boxing's all about. And if this is what professional boxing's all about so far, Sharu, India will be loving it.
Well, they absolutely are, and we've talked up the fact that this is such an important night. A huge threshold will be crossed today, and I'm sure the public of India will appreciate not only boxing in general, because you've got plenty of heroes in the past who won medals at the Asian and Commonwealth Games, and of course the Olympics as well, but for the professional boxing arena, which comes with a lot more adrenaline, a lot more power, a lot more glamour as well. It's a huge spectacle around the world, and now it's set to be so in India.
Well, just imagine if Vijender can establish himself on a world stage, all kinds of fancy all talk and fights with Amir Khan on the horizon, but for any of that to become a reality, he's got to carry on doing what he's doing here, which is clearly fighting to a strict game plan, and although he's not home and host yet, things are moving in the right direction, but we keep coming back to it. He's never been here.
Big right of Vijender, snuck through the guard of Kerry Hope, but to right side in top. He hasn't been here before. Hope with a big right as well. This is such a close contest, and it's all going to boil down to stamina eventually. I see Vijender breathing hard just a bit, but we hope that he still has it with him.
Less than a minute to go in the 7th, and Vijender keep coming at Kerry Hope with the shots. Kerry Hope keeps nodding that he wants more, and the Australian comes forward.
Well, the amount of clinching going on now just indicating that both boxers are beginning to tire, and one can understand is deep into the fight, just a couple of rounds left.
Well, Vijender's coach Lee Beard said he's never seen a trainer, a fighter be so committed to his training regime, and let's hope he's true to his word, because Vijender is going to have needed to train very hard to last this fight with what? Still 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
Another clinch, and both boxers got a few shots, and a big one to the body again by Vijender. Oh, those are definitely going to hurt. But you mentioned, of course, the headshot, the more important one. Whoa, perhaps too even to call that as well.
7 rounds gone, 3 left to go, and I tell you something, this is a right old dust-up in Delhi. No quarter being on.
And surely Vijender is more prepared.
Well, he's got that unbeaten record to defend here. He's either 9 minutes away from glorious victory in front of the faithful, or 9 minutes away from having to rethink of professional boxing ambitions. Which one will it be? I know it's what the crowd wants.
Well, the right got through, but it was still glancing. And for the crowd's sake here, we hope that Vijender has trained enough to last the fight. We know Kerry should, but it's slightly low by Vijender.
Well, this is the concern, because obviously it's very difficult to get into the mind of judges. It's a perilous game to second-guess what boxing judges score on fights, and obviously there's a school of thought that suggests Vijender with the crowd maybe influencing the judges will be more favoured, but this fight is too close for him to take his foot off the gas with 2.5 rounds to go.
A few good lefts by Vijender, and it's strange in the world of boxing, perspective matters a lot. If you're waiting for Vijender to do well, you'll probably see him land a lot more. If you're in Hope's corner, you'll see Hope landing a lot more. It's just one of those funny visual things.
Yeah, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but as far as everyone in this arena tonight is concerned, Vijender is the most beautiful boxer on the planet, and he goes again!
A big right by Vijender earlier on. Well, he's certainly not knocking Kerry Hope out in the earlier rounds. That'd be no. Oh, another low blow
to me. That did look low. but the referee going to let it slide. Kerry Hope's corner was screaming low blow there, and he caught him on the left.
Kerry has been a fantastic competitor. He hasn't really complained or cribbed at any stage, and hasn't he given a few back on the counter to Vijender as well. And I don't think Vijender has taken as much punishment in a long time. He's certainly taken quite a few blows, especially the lefts from Kerry. Another one sneaking through by Vijender.
Again, great combination, went to the body, then straight to the head. And Vijender Singh, cool and composed, trying to see this fight out as he catches him with the right. He's got a great poker face for a boxer, Vijender, isn't he? You wouldn't want to play poker against him. Kerry quite happy to grin and wink, but Vijender all about the game face, very difficult to read.
Slightly low, but he got away with it. He is attacking the body, and every once in a while, I suppose, you will get a little low. Tries to go for the head, misses. Once again, the defensive ability of the Kerry Hope. He's been avoiding quite a bit of Vijender's aggression. Vijender too, weaving away from that.
Well, just to give you some perspective, Vijender's 6 fights are finished. He comes in again. He's got a contact there. Vijender's last 6 fights are finished in the 3rd round, the 1st round, the 2nd round, the 3rd round, the 5th round and the 3rd round. It's going to be round number 9 next. 6 minutes between Vijender and his boxing destiny. And Turo, I can see, I'm sat next to you. The tension is getting to you as well, like it is the 10,000 people in attendance.
Well, I'm just joining the crowd in terms of expressing my tension, but it's all a question of finding out whether Vijender Singh has the bottle for the next 2 rounds. We know he's done very well so far. He's ahead as far as I'm concerned, but I am quite pleasantly surprised by what Kerry Hope brings in. He's absorbed a lot of punishment. He keeps coming back. Great counters as well, and we know he has a lot of defensive ability, but moving away. So this has been a fabulous contest. It's lit up the Jagrod Stadium here in Delhi, and well, as you said, the next 6 minutes, they mean so much to not Vijender only, but all of India.
Interesting to see that Vijender's corner tie. No surprise you're going to pick up swelling when you've been boxing like this for 8 rounds, but something to keep an eye on in these last 6 minutes.
A right by Vijender earlier on the 9th round. It did hurt, it was square. One of the many things that is perhaps underrated, of course the professionals do talk about it, the connoisseurs, is the accuracy of Vijender's punching all through his boxing career. He may not throw excessive punches, but he is extremely accurate, and that ultimately makes a very big difference.
You're quite right with that. He's very economical with his punches. There's not too many wild haymakers. Certainly Kerry Hope's thrown a few that's missed, but not too many of Vijender's. There's one right there. Not too many of Vijender's haven't made some kind of connection.
Well, it's quite clear that the big empty swings have been largely in the Kerry Hope corner.
Oh, he got it there.
Right.
That was a beauty. I felt that from over here in the commentary box.
Was to the side of the head. Setting him up, Vijender. I sense something big coming here.
Oh, but it came from Kerry Hope, and now it comes in Vijender. Toe to toe, these gladiators battling it out for this title.
Just when you thought Vijender was lining him up, Kerry Hope came in with a superb left hook that shook Vijender a bit. Oh, to the body once again.
Oh, that hurt him. That definitely hurt him that time. That's the first time Kerry Hope has visibly hurt. He caught him on the chin. And still Kerry Hope comes forward.
Well, he knows all the tricks. Every once in a while when he gets hit, he's quick to clinch. And I suppose you can't hold that against him, or any boxer really. You need a bit of rest when you get a big one.
Well, of the 2 fighters, it's only really Kerry Hope that's ever looked briefly in moments of danger. Vijender untroubled by the shots that Kerry has landed. But in boxing, 4 minutes is a lifetime, and that's how long Vijender's got between him and the title.
We can clearly see Vijender stalking now Kerry Hope. Another big right, and Hope is in a little bit of trouble late in this 9th round.
He was wobbly for a stride there. Now will Vijender go in to try and finish this?
Instead, Hope comes in with a big left. Vijender returns with the right, but a little scrappy.
He definitely wobbled Kerry Hope. The knees buckled just for a split second. A more optimistic Australian might suggest he slipped, but I thought that was a slight wobble.
But to be fair, Vijender's taken a fair amount of punishment as well. And Kerry Hope, despite being 34, still has pretty quick hands. Comes in with a big lunging left every once in a while. Well, being a southpaw, that's his powerful hand.
You've got to bear in mind that this is Vijender's 7th fight in 8 months as a professional. He'll need a slightly bigger gap between his next one and this one, bearing in mind what he's gone through. But with 1 round to go, are we on the brink of witnessing boxing history live on Star Sports from India?
Without question, huge moment for professional boxing in India. And here's the man who's leading the charge. What a role model, what an idol, what a star. We see a full house here at Tagrad Stadium. And let me tell you, it's the Vijender Singh star power that has drawn.
Now,
perhaps they know something we don't about Vijender. This is the last and final round, the 10th round. It's all down to the next 3 minutes.
Are we in for fireworks? Have Kerry Hope's corner title we need to knock out to win? That might leave it open for Vijender to finish this. And equally, it might leave Vijender vulnerable to that one punch that we know can change any fight, any time, any place, any day.
Well, at 75 kilos, the super middleweights carry a lot of intensity in their punches. That one just avoided by Hope. But it is down to this last and final round. Well, those who follow Vijender might think he's done enough, but it's still a very, very close fight, Patrick.
Certainly, I've said it before, I've said it again. You cannot take anything on referees and judges' scorecards for granted. It'll be a nervous couple of minutes for not just everyone here in the auditorium, but the whole of India, as everyone glued to their television stations and their television sets around this great country of over 1 billion people, waiting to see if we are about to have a first ever professional Indian boxing champion.
Plenty of haymakers being thrown now, and Kerry snuck through with a couple of lefts. It's all down to the final punch, the big one. Both of them looking for the big one, looking for the knockout.
His trainer, Lee Beard, Vijender's trainer, just telling him to breathe. They know the title's within sight. They don't need to make any silly mistakes. And he goes to try and finish it early. 1 minute 40 left in the 10th. He connected there, Kerry Hope.
Well, 2 big rights missed by Vijender earlier on. And we know the speed of his punches is going to now reduce, but and which is why the accuracy reducing as well. Last minute or so, 1 big punch either side could make the difference.
Listen to this crowd, their first taste of professional boxing. They know Vijender Singh is 80 seconds away from his boxing destiny. And a man who already was an Indian sporting hero is about to rise up the ranks even higher. Oh, and he hit him with that right there. And Kerry Hope
didn't quite find his mark though. Didn't hurt Kerry Hope as much as Vijender might have wanted. Oh, big left by Kerry.
Well, when you think these guys have been through 10 rounds of war, they look remarkably fresh. They look like they'll do another 5.
Still plenty of punches being thrown. More misses in this 10th and final round, which is understandable. Down to the final seconds.
A reminder, if you're watching this live in India on Star Sports, this fight is being beamed all around the world. Vijender Singh, India's new sporting icon, a sporting sensation, seconds away from victory.
Big right by Vijender a few seconds ago. That did really rock Kerry Hope as he moved across the ring. Last 10 seconds of this historic fight here at the Tagrad Stadium in Delhi. Another big right by Vijender. And that's it!
Unbelievable, 10 rounds of boxing, both camps though, both camps, Jeru, claim victory. Are we in for a nervous wait while we await the referees and judges' verdicts?
Oh boy, well, 10,000 people here because every seat's taken and more, the hours are full as well. We'll be looking to see how the judges score it. Fabulous fight. Wow.
Respectful concerned. I mean, it's a ploy we see in many big fights that the trainer will hoist their fighter into the air, and you can usually tell by how convincing their cheers and their smiles are. Both camps seem reasonably confident. I hope that Charu and myself haven't been watching a different fight to them. We are just moments away. Stay with us. The action may be over, but the drama's only just started as we await the judges' scorecards. The iOS promotions team and Francis Warren representing Queensberry Promotions from over there in England. I'm sure Frank Warren, Francis's father, is watching this with great interest, having been the mastermind of Vijender's rise to fame so far. Vijender looks nice and relaxed. He raises those arms in the air. And the crowd, I think, making noise, but slightly nervous.
Much closer than expected.
Well, Navi, you just joined us, Navi, back in the box. You've obviously been watching that fight. How did you score it?
Yes, very close. I think both are expecting victory. I think Vijender had the greater reach and probably picked up more scoring points. But he didn't get that right hand going. You know, he struggles against southpaws. Charu was talking, he lost to that Uzbek Otiev in the London Olympics quarter-final. Well, let's wait the result.
Well, we see plenty of calm faces in the Francis Warren and the iOS camp. Vijender himself looks confident. Kerry Hope, a slight frown I'm detecting. Kerry Hope just 2 yards away from us now, Novi.
Yes,
and I think he may think he's not done enough, but as we see that magnificent belt in the ring, will it be wrapped round the waist of an Indian or an Australian? We're about to find out.
Yes, it is unique, and credit to Vijender, he lasted the full distance. You know, it's the first time he's gone 10 distance, and they said he struggled against southpaws. He's only played Hovra before. Can he move up the higher now, play 12 rounds or 15 rounds? That is the key.
The crowd giving Kerry Hope a great reception. So we know he can go 10 rounds of boxing now, but will Vijender Singh's next fight be as the WBO Super Welterweight Championship? Let's find out as we join Charu in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official result of the Herbalife Nutrition WBO Asia Pacific Super Middleweight Championship here in New Delhi. Judge number 1 scores it 98-92. Judge number 2 scores it 98-92. And judge number 3 scores it 190. The winner by unanimous decision, Vijender